Joining me on the news track at this time is Dr. Kiran Bedi, former Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry, comes from Amritsar, understands the people and the politics of Punjab. With us also on this broadcast is former diplomat Veena Sikri. We have Surya Khanegaunkar, well-known columnist, Francesca Marino, and Max Abrams, international security professor and author of a book on terrorist dynamics. Dr. Bedi, to you first. You come from Punjab, you understand the problems and the politics of the state. We've seen Foreign Minister Jaishankar at the United Nations General Assembly hit out at the Canadian Prime Minister, levelling these allegations, saying that you've levelled charges but so far failed to produce any evidence to back them. What are you making, ma'am, of this entire controversy?
Well, the information I've gathered from friends and relatives there is that they're dismissing it as his political compulsions. They understand what's happening and it's political. So therefore, I think they're not very enamored. They understand that this is his political compulsions and he's got into the trap.
India has belatedly started clamping down on these Khalistani terrorists, confiscating their assets, whether it's in Amritsar, Chandigarh, elsewhere in Punjab. This should have been done a long time back. Do you think we were mistaken in not moving fast enough, not taking strict action much sooner than we are?
Keep doing this, what they're doing now. Keep being very persistent and not delayed. In fact, I was reading in the papers that for certain confiscations and sealing, there's certain things were pending for long. We need not have any pending. We do it faster and we do it effectively and we do it soon enough. We don't have to wait. Don't lose time. Seize properties immediately.
One of the things that's been discussed in the past few days is the concern around the resurfacing of the bogey of Khalistan. While it enjoys very minimal support in Punjab, the concern that in countries like Canada, Australia, the United Kingdom, that now it's getting greater amplification, more mind space than in the past. You've seen the movement rise and fall. Do you think that this is now dead and buried, or could it still resurface in some way to trouble us in the future?
We'll have to keep a watch, but the feedback from my state and cities like Amritsar, etc., I found out from both the communities, my Hindu friends and my Sikh friends, it's not impacting them. It's however, yes, they do call most of these Sikh youth, the young youth, Sikh call almost Canada their first home. They almost call it their first home. But they are not, and also I think that information which is coming through the media, that they are foot soldiers, many of them get recruited as foot soldiers, is spreading an alarm amongst the youth to say this is not what they were going for. So I think that is creating a dent. But yes, the youth of Punjab and many parents of Punjab and certainly rural areas have been considering Canada as their another home, or even some of them first home. So I think that's getting dented a bit, but also cautioning and sending the word around that their youth, if they go, they could get vulnerable and get into the trap, becoming foot soldiers of the Khalistan movement. So that I think is helping and sending the alarm bells. Otherwise, there in Punjab, there is no disharmony. There is nothing like this. It's still remaining moderate and only looking for better governance. I think what Punjab is only now looking for better governance and not revival of any one of these movements.
The Canadian government has been extremely soft on Khalistani elements, looking away rather than clamping down. Posters have been put up asking for Indian diplomats to be killed and targeted, calls for Hindus to be killed. The government in Ottawa looking the other way. Ma'am, how do you think the Indian government should be dealing with this beyond what we've already seen being done?
All this has surfaced now as common citizens. It surfaced now, only earlier. All the time we only kept hearing that the government of India is cautioning UK, Australia, US, and of course Canada Even when Mr. Prime Minister Trudeau visited us, it was, but nothing in detail as the way it's now it got exposed. So I think what is now clearly evident that both the Trudeaus, the father and the son, have been riding a tiger. They have been riding a tiger. They were riding, and they are now almost becoming, if I would say, victims of this. But it's political. The political system also throws up this kind of dependency. I think the election system, choosing of candidates, I think they need to. It's throwing up this dependency. So I think that dependency is now they're becoming victims of it themselves. Of course, they would not call it as victims, but to my mind, an ordinary reader and a television watcher, I think they're becoming victims of this, and they probably do not know how to get off this because they are politically dependent on this. So I think the future elections alone will tell whether the moderate Sikhs vote them out, and not get back to these kind of candidates again. And Canada is also suffering. Canada is suffering. Indian Canadians are suffering, and even Canada as a whole, because they're witnessing organized crime, and then organized crime being considered as freedom of speech. Where is freedom of speech? And I think it's gone too far. Both the father and the son have been riding a tiger, and now the tiger is becoming dangerous, very, very
Organized
dangerous.
crime can never be misconstrued as freedom of speech. It can never be presented as freedom of speech. That is completely unacceptable. And remember also the manner in which Justin Trudeau clamped down on troubles within, whether it is against those who were part of the truckers' protest, whether it is against those who didn't want vaccines. Look at how he's dealing with his own affairs for far less offensive crimes. And even if it is a crime at all, I mean, somebody doesn't want a vaccine, they don't want a vaccine. How can you start freezing the bank accounts and taking action against them? And in the same way, if the truckers protesting, I mean, surely they have a right to protest much more than anybody who's actually asking for India to be broken up and taking up arms against the Indian state.